Hi, super glad to be here. What a lovely space. And I think, let's talk about angels. Yes? So what if we took angels out of the woo-woo and into a space of practicality and defining the word angel meaning messenger of God, and if we see God as an unconditionally loving force in the world that touches all of us and that we're part of it. And in our spiritual trauma, and I suspect we're all here because of trauma on some level, it's just recognizing the legitimate question, like, well, where the hell were they when this happened? Great question. And recognizing the context, which is, this is the learning space. And we're all learning. And trauma's on the surface for everyone right now. I'm going to stand here so the pole doesn't get in the way. And just seeing the role of that right now, that's present for everyone, that everyone's contending with trauma, personal trauma, national trauma, global trauma, universal trauma. And how do we heal that? We heal it through making space. And to having gatherings like this in community where we could regulate our nervous systems and recognize that we're not the only ones and that it's okay to be safe. And it's recognizing what we do to take that knowing away into what we're alone and wake up at 4 a.m. How do we carry that with us? And it's recognizing the power of technique, the power of words, and the power of presence. And that we're all included in all this good. That we're not separate from it. And if we think of what our core wounds are, one of the main ones is a sense of abandonment, that we're the only ones and everyone else knows how it works. And if we take that away into a space of knowing that we are included, that we are loved, that we are seen, we are heard, and we welcome that, and taking off the table one of the specters of spirituality, which is this grandiose. And if we see that this work is humbling, what's it like to sing as a community and just feel centered and grounded? And recognize that everyone is doing their best, even if we disagree with it. And coming back to what we mentioned briefly in the earlier prayer, when I was talking about the workshop, we live in this very specific context where everyone is changing. We are all changing right now. And so it feels disconcerting in that the familiar things perhaps are not as present as they were before. But it's recognizing the upgrade that is happening. The chance to be in a different space and to do it together. And so if we think of the core issues behind that are our relationship with authority and discernment. And it's recognizing that we are part of the solution. And with authority, it's perhaps redefining it away from like, well, that person's in charge, the power's over there, into the power being right here. And the power being right here. That we're all included. That we're not separate. And recognizing that when we have community, like this beautiful community, it's recognizing the power in it and what happens. Who is the you who is here? The you who is here is your conscious adult self. So we're here together as our conscious adult selves. And allowing the power of that to be present. And to be seen as that. And to be heard. And with all that, it's recognizing there's simplicity. What is it like to be present as our conscious adult selves? And to be approachable. And to let good things happen. And in this time, which is very specific, it's recognizing what is it like to be an adult, our conscious adult selves, and to let the adolescent mindsets diminish, mainly focused on separation. And fear. What's it like to be safe? What's it like to create safe spaces, like this space right here, right now, and to have help? What is it like to pray, to intend, to affirm, and to let those words matter, to influence our environment, to influence our lives, and to let it be safe to be safe. Let it be safe for incredible good to happen. So a lot of different concepts in that, but perhaps the practicality comes with that we're already included. And what is it like to make ourselves available even a little bit to the highest possible good. And perhaps recognizing as spiritual beings what is our role, which is perhaps to let ourselves and the universe know what we would like to have happen, as opposed to what's going on. So working beyond circumstances, working beyond words. And recognizing in a time where perhaps words aren't working so well, what is it like to work beyond words and become masters of love? To let unconditional love be part of our everyday lives. And if we, in the different notes I took, what's it like to put the back in unconditional love? And let that be an actual thing, which is unconditional love no matter what has happened, that you are loved, no matter what hasn't happened, that you are loved, no matter what might or might not happen, that you are loved exactly as you are right now. And just feeling the inclusion in that, and the absence of conditions, the absence of the negotiation of worth and deserving into a space of you are loved right now. And what is it like to extend that to love other people as they are right now? And coming back to the access, that a big conversation with angels is around access. How do we access them? Which could be as simple as, thank you, angels, for being with me. Thank you, angels, for helping me. Thank you, angels, for this wonderful gathering today. Thank you for incredible good happening. Whatever prayer, whatever affirmation is present with that, and just letting that conversation begin to happen. And recognizing also with prayer, the activeness, the viability, the presence of all positive prayers said throughout history. All the prayers said for you before you were born. All the prayers of peace said for humanity. That those prayers are active. And with that, it's just recognizing all the good intentions that have been put forward throughout human history. And letting them impact our lives right now and recognizing what we could add. And what we can add is inclusion, it is peace of mind, and it's also coming back to safety. So that the topic I put forward to Betsy is well, safe, and happy. And those words came from thinking of what affirmation, what prayer could include everything. Thank you for my being well, safe, and happy. Thank you for my loved ones being well, safe, and happy. Thank you for everyone being well, safe, and happy. And why not? Why not? And just getting into a space where you recognize where limitation and lack thinking has permeating a lot of our existence, a lot of our beliefs. Well, there's not enough good for everyone. What if there is? And just recognizing it's okay to put forward the intention, the clarity of what we want to have happen. And what is it like to create a peaceful planet where we eventually raise generation after generation of children who are not traumatized? So just putting forward and putting on the table what we would like to have happen. And recognizing the healing that can happen with any hesitation around those things. And coming back to, why not? Why not let the highest good happen? So if we could just take a moment, and perhaps we could just say these things if you want to out loud. I am well, safe, and happy. I am well, safe, and happy. May my loved ones be well, safe, and happy. May all beings be well, safe, and happy.
May all beings be well, safe, and happy.
And we'll just breathe into that. And without prescribing what should happen, we'll just notice the opportunity. And the opportunity for upgrades. And perhaps just letting the highest good happen. Noticing when the daughter loses her house in Ashland, Oregon in May, that there's an opportunity for an upgrade. And just recognizing what we would like to have happen, which is peace, which is safety, which is honor. And so as we witness things and circumstances in the world, we could perhaps just contribute this space, be that a private prayer, be it a public prayer, be it a prayer, or an intention that there's enough good for everyone, and enough peace for everyone, and enough safety for everyone. And coming back to the infusion of unconditional love, which is that we all are included in all the good in the universe. And so perhaps in that we could recognize the distinction or the eventual extinction of the rules that we're used to. And perhaps replacing the rules with order. And recognizing what is it like in the absence of the rules that we're used to, there being more peace and more harmony for all of us. And recognizing what is it like to be safe. And it was the song, the angel song, what if we don't struggle? What if there's a space of acceptance of what is already here for us? And it's worth providing the context that we're all evolving right now. We're coming back to everyone is changing, and also that we get to perhaps choose our changes, recognize what we would like to have happen, which is the core spiritual question, which is what would you like to have happen? What's the best thing that can happen? What would thrill you? And just noticing that perhaps with the tension of our current time, that those thoughts aren't available. But perhaps as we regulate ourselves in this community gathering, we could access that. So we'll just breathe into that question just for a moment. What's the best thing that can happen, or the best things that can happen? We'll just breathe into that for a moment. What would you like to have happen? What would be fun in an era where fun has gotten deprioritized? So we'll just breathe into that for a moment. What would you like to have happen? If anybody wants to share, what would you like to have happen? Peaceful planet sound good? Everybody being well, safe, and happy? What would you like to have happen? Patty, what would you like to have happen?
For people to be able to express themselves freely.
Yeah. That there's enough good for that. If we, just for a moment, if we think of what is evolving into what we can call the divine masculine, divine feminine, which is a confidence that's inclusive and encouraging. That we cease being so scared of each other and trying to dictate what's happening. That there is room for everyone to express themselves and recognizing the power of positive expression. Yeah. Kenneth, what would you like to have happen?
That all beings know their innate goodness and kindness as a baseline.
Yeah. That's lovely. Also, a role where it's okay to learn. It seems like that's just gotten off the table, that we're supposed to be fully formed. That it's okay for us to learn. It's okay for us to evolve, that we're not done. That we're here. And it's interesting the context of, we live in an era, this period of time, where a lot of people are transitioning. A lot. So what is it like to be here? And to really invest in being here. And to create safety for everyone. Ourselves first, and just letting that spread out. What would you like to have happen?
Me?
Yeah.
Pretty much that people just everyone gets along.
Yeah.
I would like that.
That we get along. Yeah. That we cease being afraid of each other. And that the fixation on difference perhaps collapses. Yeah. Brian, what would you like to have happen?
I think just like everybody to know that they are safe where they are. That it's within them to find that safety.
Yeah. Wonderful. Who else would like to share? Yeah.
I would love for everyone to have all their needs met without having to do anything. I mean, that's our divine right. We don't have to work, we don't have to struggle. That's why we're here, to express.
Indeed, that we have our needs met and exceeded. Yeah.
Effort.
Hmm?
Effortlessly.
Effortlessly. That there is enough good for everyone. There's enough good in the world. Yeah.
The best is yet to come for everybody.
And baby, won't it be fine? That's a song, right, Kevin? Yeah. The best is yet to come. Yeah. Yes.
It came to me that I just felt like if we could all play together more. Play just kept coming up.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Many things have gotten taken off the table in through stress, and
Yeah.
fun is like down here. What if it went up here?
Yeah.
You know, and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we enter this space where our hearts are open. It's safe for our hearts to be open. Yeah, yeah, yes.
Everybody feels love.
Everybody feels loved. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Mine was interesting because it was a little bit more worldly maybe, but it was that everybody be able to love what they're doing and do what they love.
Sounds good. Yeah, that we use our time for heart-centered activities. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is a little more personal. I would like
Sure.
my wife to have a healing.
Let's affirm that as so. We'll do a big old prayer in just a little bit. Big old prayer for everyone. That will include everyone in that for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me, I'd sort of like the world to take a breath before they answer. Just a moment to take a breath, make sure that this is really what their truth is, and to slow the world down a little by taking a breath. Slow it down.
Indeed, to slow things down and to recognize it's a tough time to be a sensitive person, isn't it? You know, and just recognizing that about ourselves, of what is present for us and how to shift. I think this is our task as spiritual beings, which is how do we go from being dysregulated to regulated, as the bell rings, and like we're right on time, indeed. And just noticing what is that like, and that's personal for all of us, but just recognizing what is it like to have that ability. And I think, once again, as our task as spiritual people is to shorten that distance, which it could take days, and maybe it gets into hours, or maybe it gets into that. Were you going to say something?
I was thinking of kindness, and I wish that I could always lead with kindness. And then I coupled that with grace, because I don't afford myself grace. I am too hard on myself a lot, so I need to be kinder to myself and reflect that out to the world.
Lovely. So with those two things, we'll get to just a second, of just seeing what is it like to respond rather than react, and what gets us into that space, and how do we interrupt patterns that we're used to, and recognizing, coming back to, it's okay for us to learn, it's okay for us to evolve, it's okay to know our triggers, and let them evolve into a space so they're not leading the way. Just noticing what that's like for each of us. Yes, sir.
Along the lines of what Doug said,
Mhm.
I hope for two things immediately that I'm thinking about. One is that my wife gets some direction, and not good news is not up to me or anyone else, but just direction on where she's going with her health.
Mhm.
I really admire her attitude. And then more globally, I'd love to see mankind move away from this fixation of war and power, and that we all recognize, no matter where we are in life, there are people less fortunate than we are, and that strength, that power, that perseverance should be directed towards that.
And so it is. Yeah. We'll affirm that. That perhaps collectively we could agree that we're ready for the meanness and the cruelty to end and get into a space of kindness and generosity and grace. And so rather than getting into, well, how, let's provide the what. And the what is the us who's sitting here right now and listening online. That it's in the room. That kindness is in the room. And recognizing the context for a lot of things, especially the health challenges that seem so prevalent, which is we are having a vibrational shift, and not in the hippie terms of vibration, but we're having a vibrational shift, which means we're lightening up. And so it seems like everyone is healing in some way right now. And just seeing that in the context of this is our work, and allowing room for more healing, allowing room for more grace. So why don't we say a big old enormous prayer together? Okay. So thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended masters, for incredible grace, great peace, wonderful healing, and incredible love being right here, right now. We celebrate the inclusion of everyone, all beings, all people, all giraffes, all whales, all dogs and cats, and everyone, no matter what is happening, no matter what the diagnosis or circumstances. We welcome grace and ease for every single person on the planet and every single being on the planet. We welcome incredible grace. We celebrate healing in every single cell in our bodies. We celebrate healing in every single system in our bodies, including our nervous systems, our immune systems, our structural systems, bones and muscles and ligaments and tissue, our circulatory systems, our hearts, our veins, our blood, healthy blood pressure, our respiratory systems, our reproductive systems, our digestive systems, our energetic systems being clear and bright, our energy being individualized. And with that, just for a moment, if we could just say our own names out loud. I'll demonstrate. I am Mark. Just saying your own name out loud. I'm not anybody else. And saying your own name again. I am Mark. I am my conscious adult self. I welcome the highest good into my life right now. I am well, safe, and happy. I'm included in all the good in the universe. I am right on time. All my needs are met and exceeded. Everyone's needs are met and exceeded. I actually exist right now. I'm fully alive right now. I am empowered right now. And I choose love. And I choose peace. I am right on time. And I ask for this or something better. Right now, in all directions of time. And so it is. Let's just breathe into that. And just noticing that spiritually, we're not trying to kick open the door. We're just creating space, 1% space, 10% space. And just noticing what happens in that spaciousness. That we're giving the universe, we're giving angels and guides and our ancestors room. Room to access us, room to help us. And interrupting the narrative that we're on our own. And recognizing that we are included in all the good in the universe. That it's okay to be kind, it's okay to put forward intention. It's okay to pray that it's all okay. So we'll just gently breathe into all that good and all that goodness. And to revel in the spaciousness that is here. That we have a say, and it's okay for us to have a say. And we'll say one more affirmation out loud. And we'll just say out loud, I welcome positive upgrades in every part of my life. Thank you, angels, for helping me in every part of my life. I am well, safe, and happy. And so it is.